This is Act of God's Captives Diary, Episode 64, Season 2, written by with Obialor-Ukazim. So, we want to continue on the revelations from yesterday. Yes, there has been some revealing from yesterday, and Josh was shocked because he did not know that Uma would talk this way. But anyway, let's see if there are more revelations today. Hey, calm down, girl. Precious caught in cautiously, seeing the way her emotions were beginning to get the better of her. And Josh may be triggered to speak back at her too, which will lead to exchange of words with quarrel. Josh had many girlfriends all the while. He claimed he was waiting for me. Uma revealed out before her boiling heart calmed down to listen to Precious. Mrs. Precious, that was a mistake and I did confess my wrong to her mom when Josh cut in trying to defend himself, but Precious still interrupted him and told him also to hold on. Hold on, Josh. I'm going to give you the chance to speak and defend yourself, but hold on a little while, okay? She assured him and he nodded, then kept quiet. From Uma's outburst, he was sure that her mother must have told her everything he discussed with her about the kind of life he was living in the school, and ready he was ready and he had already admitted and he was ready to admit it and beg Uma for forgiveness since it's no longer a secret. But he also regretted telling Chizaram those things as he felt she betrayed his trust by telling Uma what he told her in confidence, and now it's being used against him. Well done. Now the both of you breathe in. Precious instructed them and they held their breath. Out, she added after a few seconds, and they released their breath. She repeated the instruction 2 more times to relieve their tension before proceeding with their discussion. So, Josh, Oma mentioned something about you having numerous girlfriends in the school at all the time you claimed you were waiting for her. Is that true? She asked, turning to Josh. Yes, but it was a mistake and I'm really sorry, he replied. Okay, so how many girlfriends were there and which of them exactly was the mistake? Precious asked him and he was quiet for a moment to think before talking. 2. He lied because he couldn't bring himself to tell them he dated about 3 different girls during his 3 years academic course and 2 girls during the 1 year practicum or shipboard training. Hey, boss, you try. 5. And also remember that he didn't tell Chizaram all the truth, so he had to maintain the lie by reducing the number to fit into the previous narratives. Uma wanted to argue that the figure he gave was not true, but held herself from interrupting him and Mrs. Precious. You dated 2 different girls and you called that a mistake? Precious asked him. No, ma'am. The second person was a mistake. I wasn't the one who asked her out, but she seduced me and I feel. I'm sorry. He replied, apologizing. I was heartbroken because I was told to stay away from Uma. I was emotionally weak and didn't know what to do, and she took advantage of my vulnerability. He said, kind of trying to give his reasons, and Precious smiled to herself. Even the English for the lie self, they add me to pronounce. But it's where? Oh, is that your reason for dating 2 different girls? She asked him, grinning. Mrs. Precious, they are not 2. They were 5, and one of them has a child for him. A baby boy. Gowns. Did anybody know about that one? Because me, I did not know. Hey! So Josh is now a baby daddy. God, I beg. Josh froze at that revelation because no other person is aware of that except himself, his best friend, and the poor girl's family, whom he personally paid a huge amount of money to keep mute because of his father's name and promised to come back for the girl and the child in the future. MM. MM is her name. Hey! Even whose state is that though? Uma continued as the name flashed before her eyes. She's 20 years old and a native of Akwa Ibom State. You met and started dating her during your 1 year C practicum 2 years ago in Akwa Ibom State. In a glance, Uma spelled out what she was saying about the guy, and everywhere was quiet. Bounce! Wow, that was shocking. Ah! Nah, I like this her gift though, as well. Precious knew from the moment she started numbering the number of girls Joshua had dated that she was seeing something and speaking by revelation. But the awestruck Josh, who had finished racking his brain to know how and who must have leaked the biggest secret of his life to Uma, couldn't tell because he has forgotten that she's a seer. Hi! Suddenly, he became greatly concerned that his parents must have also gotten wind of it, and his father is definitely going to disown him. The only person he suspected at that moment to have betrayed him was his friend Akim, because he is the only person who knows the full details of what happened between him and MM. Aside MM's family, he and Akim is the only one who had really told. Akim is the only one he had really told about his plan concerning Uma. Weakened in his bones, he quietly lowered his head in shame and disappointment. Precious asked him to confirm if the things Uma had just spelled out were true, and he nodded in the affirmative. Who else knew that Josh was a baby daddy? Because me, I never knew. Hey! Let me keep my comment first. Meanwhile, David had waited and waited to see Uma's call or text message, at least to check up on him and be sure he's fine, having watched the unnamed young man punch him in the nose with blood pouring out of his nose. He expected that she ought to have at least called his phone or send a quick text message to show some concern about his well-being, even if the young man who punched him is truly her boyfriend. He picked his phone several times to call her and be sure she's safe, but ended up dropping the phone as he felt be she might as well be with a young man, maybe resolving things with him. In his head, nah, this is our head. His way. In his head, he even imagined Omar trying to explain things to the young man, that is Josh, wherever they may be, that there's nothing between them, herself and himself, that is him, David and Umar. And he felt even more hurt just by imagining Umar doing that. Oh God, I love her. How can she be in love with someone else who's so violent? Someone who's so violent. He cried within him as he was just tossing on the bed thoughtfully, and just then his phone rang and he rushed at it, thinking she was the one, but was disappointed to see his mother's call. He exclaimed when he saw it was his mother. Not now, Mom, he added, putting the phone away. The phone finished ringing and rang the second time. Then he ended it and sent his mother a text that he'd call her later. Help me sleep, Holy Ghost. He prayed as he desired sleep. Perhaps it will make him to stop thinking about too many things and asking so many questions with no answers or explanations. And just when sleep was about visiting him, his phone rang again. He quickly jumped up and grabbed it, thinking she was the one. But immediately he saw that it wasn't her. He angrily turned off the phone so he can sleep. Unfortunately, it was just a few minutes after he turned off the phone that Omar dialed his number, but it was switched off, and her own restlessness began. After his own entire sleep, her own now began. So, who else knew that Josh was a baby daddy? Me, I never knew. Nah, this guy shocked me. Eh? My God. It's well. David, stop allowing things to enter your head. Keep your head in one place. Keep your head in one place. But it's well, Sha. I hope he's sorted. But now that Josh is a daddy, you should get ready to take up the responsibility and get ready to get married. Because he must marry that girl. He doesn't have a choice. It's just Daniel and Mesoma that I pity. Their name. But it's well, Sha. See you guys tomorrow and have a beautiful and great day. So any other person that knew that Joshua was a baby daddy should please tell me in the comment section so I will know whether I'm the only one in the dark Anyway, see you guys tomorrow. Bye bye.